Welcome back, dear viewers. Thank you for staying with us here on The Breakfast Show. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli said on Monday that the first stage of the Decent Life initiative, which comprises a series of countryside-focused national infrastructure projects, will be concluded by December of this year. Dr. Madbouli said that the project's initial phase was set to be completed by the 30th of June 2021, but a reschedule was necessary due to the delay in delivery of raw materials and equipment from abroad, owing to the current global circumstances. The Decent Life National Project Hayya Karima in Arabic was initially experimentally in 2019 initiated by His Excellency President As-Sisi, and its first phase was officially launched in July of that year. The project aims to improve standards of living, infrastructure and basic services, including healthcare, across the countryside. The project covers 4,658 villages across the country, which are home to 58% of Egypt's 102 million population, with an estimated budget of 700 billion Egyptian pounds. With us now live over the phone is Dr. Amany Holla, the president of the Egyptian Center for Society Services. Dr. Amany, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining us. And first of all, a comment on this great development. This mammoth project will see its first, the initial phase completed by the end of December of this year, as announced by the Prime Minister.
Good morning to you and all your viewers. Actually, we can say that it's a great challenge with the circumstances happening all over the world to still continuing and completing this great achievement. And I think we have excuses if they can, but they're still challenging themselves and challenging all the circumstances and reaching very good level of the schedule they are planning to do.
Right. Dr. Madbouli had made the statements during an inspection tour of a number of Decent Life affiliated projects in the Nile Delta's Al-Bahira governorate. Madbouli said that over 4,320 projects are being implemented in the coastal governorate at a total cost of 80 billion pounds. Now, Dr. Amany, how does civil society, and you're the head of the Egyptian Center for Society Services, how does it support the Decent Life presidential initiative?
We are trying to help with the small details because official papers cannot tell everything. You need people or organizations who are involved with people who know the whole details about themselves, who can also help with directing the team to the more important or the priorities that we can start and insist in.
Right. Now, Dr. Madbouli also said, and we are quoting him, quote, "There is no governorate in Egypt that does not have national ventures aimed at raising the standard of living of its residents," unquote. So this vision by the government, how do you see this vision to go into each and every governorate and try and reach each and every village in the sustainable development program that the government is working on?
We can say that it's a way thinking out of the box, actually, because we have different environments, different circumstances for each area of Egypt, and so the needs of every place different than the others. So we are trying to tailor and discover the most important needs of every place and every environment to help them the most.
Right. It is to note that the government is dealing with the current global economic crisis, according to the Prime Minister. in a proactive approach. And he said that Egypt is taking the conservative or the austere scenario. And the government embarked a large allocation of the 2022-2023 budget for emergencies in anticipation of any further increases in fuel and product prices, according again to the Prime Minister. So, Dr. Amany, how important now is such an initiative, that presidential initiative, Hayya Karima or Decent Life, in light of the challenges that Egypt is facing and the globe is facing due to the rise in prices and commodities and the inflation, mainly due to the Russia-Ukraine war, and before that, the aftermath of the coronavirus pandemic?
We can say that this actually project was only it's like a magic stick when you think how to improve the life of people with all the ignorance and the lot of accumulation of problems throughout the decades of people's life, we can say to them. So actually, you find 20 ministries and a lot of civil societies working on one project. It's a huge way of thinking, and it's a great step to improve people's life. So whatever is happening, we are trying to overcome and try to find solutions to achieve our target.
Right. Dr. Amany, last week the President also ordered adding 1 million new families to the Takaful and Karama, or Solidarity and Dignity program, as part of a series of recently announced economic packages meant to help Egyptians cope with the repercussions of the global economic crisis. So I want to talk also about Takaful and Karama, or Solidarity and Dignity, not only Hayya Karima. How do you see that Takaful and Karama program, and what is the role of NGOs like yours in such a scheme?
We can say that according to the circumstances and the needs of people, they are trying to fill all the pools and discover all the needs in different ways. But if you are talking about improving the skills to make people able to gain their own work, if we are insisting in that by putting them in good programs to improve their skills. If you can say about education, a lot of schools are in the program to improve the educational system in the villages, especially in the ignored places, who suffers a lot from being not in the plan of the development for many years.
Right. Now, the number of beneficiary families of the Solidarity and Dignity scheme will increase from 4.1 to 5 million by the end of this month, according to the Prime Minister. Again, from 4.1 million to 5 million. The cash support program, Dr. Amany, is to support impoverished families with school-age children. You mentioned the school-age children, the elderly as well, and the people with special abilities or with special needs, targeting Upper Egypt in specific. So can you talk to us about the government's great efforts in that regard, especially with the people with special abilities or special needs, and the fact that Upper Egypt is always being targeted in such schemes?
Yeah, we can say that at last we are trying to improve the life of these people who are suffering a lot from being not in the plan, or not in the, there is no clear way to help them before. They suffered a lot for many decades. And also we are trying to make a system, which is the most important point, that because before it was like randomly helped by the NGOs, but not system clear for them to be trying to improve their lives and to make real achievements on the land. What's happening now in Upper Egypt, and especially with the special needs and all the more needy people like orphans or divorced women or elderly people are actually something we never see before. And we, as an NGO, we used to suffer because they have no rights before. It was very heavy on us to help them. But now we have a system, we have governmental support.
Yes. Dr. Amany, can you tell us about the coordination, the cooperation between NGOs, the government, and the private sector in such societal initiatives like Haya Karima or Takaful and Karama?
It's a great effort, and we cannot ignore also the volunteers. We have great volunteers everywhere trying to help, and they actually, especially because they are from the same environment, but they know the most important details to help us.
Yes. Now, we've talked about the role of such initiatives in helping the elderly or school children. What about their role in helping the youth, in enhancing the youth potential, in developing the skills of the youth, in providing job opportunities for the youth, Dr. Amany?
It's great steps are taking place now, especially with the most important part. We are having a big lack on it, which is the vocational training, because we need to have better skilled people who can help themselves and being in the market to fulfill the needs of the factories and all the industrial works we are seeing now in Egypt.
And what about these initiatives' role in supporting the role of women and women rights and the right of education for young girls and the participation of females in sustainable development, Dr. Amany?
This is this initiative actually tries to help to change the culture and remove the negativity of some negative ideas we used to suffer from, especially in the rural areas. By helping these women and young girls to improve themselves, to have a career, to understand that they have rights and they should take it.
All right, Dr. Amany Holla, the president of the Egyptian Center for Society Services, thank you very much for your time and your input with us here.